Alright guys, what's up? Gonna be a long video, okay? Well, hopefully not too long, but we're gonna go over stuff. Quite a few of you reached out to me on Facebook. I'm sorry I haven't read the YouTube comments yet. If this video is not too long, we're gonna do that, okay? We're gonna focus on that. Right now, I want to help everyone that's got the grip issue, because, yeah, okay, this grip needs a little bit of work. But honestly, guys, at the end of the day, and I told these guys on Facebook, it's the same thing. We can't complain for $114. This is insane. I recently was checking e-bike, Airsoft Megastore, Airsoft GI. They're one of the three biggest stores, e-bike just being, most dominant. But these three stores have a lot of parts in California. They're actually local to me. Like, I can drive to e-bike, I can drive to Megastore. It's like a 30-minute drive. Airsoft GI is the furthest one, kind of. And that's why you'll notice some have the Sharp. I have Atlas Custom. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We're going to cover the stuff. But looking at these three stores, guys, I found other grips, $340. I'm sorry, $360 was the highest aluminum grip, and on average, the rest were about $240. So 5KU has come in at such a lower entry point, and for what? You got to do some work here, okay? Leaf spring, you're going to have to do some work here. Triggers, you got to be careful. If they're really tall, they're going to have issues, so you'll have to do some work there. And this one is probably aesthetic. It annoys me. But if they make this a little bit bigger, like the correct size, if they just reduce this by 2 millimeters, you can feel the thickness, okay? Put your finger in here and you'll feel when it goes and it rises up, right? If they reduce that whole plane by like 3 millimeters, they're done. It's gonna cover most mags. Okay, they're such easy fix, and I wish I could talk with them, but they just, I tried. I literally sent my video to them last week. I'm like, hey man, I like your stuff. What if I try to buy your stuff? And I'm like, I'm trying anything, guys, but they just don't care, and that's all right. If they could just close this, probably from the bottom up. Okay, we want to go upwards, so add like a millimeter up. Okay, that's what I'd probably do. And we're going to talk about that. But you're saving over $120. This is insane. Okay, for a metal grip. Remember, it's not even a necessity, guys. This is not. There is no benefit to the aluminum grip. I don't care. I'll fight and stay on that hill for anyone. It's just, there's no benefits. It's just purely cosmetic and what you like. Okay, the only benefit I could think is I think it's better for people with smaller hands. It's not good for someone like me with big hands. You guys can see it looks like a baby grip in my hand. But I'm not gonna lie, guys. I still love how this feels. I still love aluminum grips. Okay, they're a nice compact design. There's just no room for extra spacing, and that's what they've done a great job on. That's why they exist. And in the real steel world, they lead to getting the right and ultimate grip for your hand, to your finger, to your trigger, everything. All right, real steel, okay, there's different sizes and everything. We don't have that in airsoft. Okay, we just don't, and that's okay. That shit's too insane. But okay, because if you talk to any big real steel company, they're gonna send you like 12 grip, I'm talking the high end infinity level kind of stuff. They'll send you like 6 different grips. You put your hands on them and you figure out which one fits best for you, and then they want to measure your hands. And I had him measure his fingers, his index finger and his L, and that's why you see all these guys to the left, because I'm going to talk to you guys about triggers. Not too in depth, because I'd rather leave that to the pros. You guys can go research on real steel. This is just old knowledge that you get from real steel. I learned most of the stuff from forum stuff, shooting real steel, IPSC, IDPA, all the other shit. Okay, so let's talk about leaf spring. This is the biggest problem that most of you talk to me on Facebook about. You say, hey, I bought the 5KU grip, I bought the frame, and my gun keeps slipping, the hammer keeps slipping. And I know the last couple of videos, there's been too many videos, and I'm sorry, guys. And I've been too excited, but and I know they're long. So that's why I'm going to try to get this fast and out of the way, so I can send it to them and say, hey, watch the first 5 minutes. Okay. This right here the first thing you have to do is first you need to make sure, let me get this out of here. You need to make sure your grip is as tight as it can be to the frame. Okay? Meaning no gap here, no gap here. You want this nice and tight. If you do not have that, start working on figuring out where it's hitting on your frame. Okay? It should be nice and tight on both sides. Look from the back right here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, these are the areas you want to focus. 1, 2, and then like 3. Okay, so but both sides obviously. All right, so 1, 2, 3. You look at and bring it up close and make sure you can't see like sunlight. And look, for plastic clips, it's okay. There's gonna be, it's not gonna be perfect for plastic grips, but for most of these aluminum grips, you can get it nice and tight. Once you have that done, your next mission is to make sure your leaf spring. There are so many leaf springs out there, guys. Okay, that is the biggest issue. There's a million leaf springs. Everyone's going to use different ones. I want you guys to show this one because I already modded this one. Okay, so look at this carefully. Now, I know people are going to be, hey, that's not big of a difference. It's a big difference, right? Remember, this middle one sits on your sear. Okay, it sits right there on the middle. Okay, you guys see the middle part right here? Sits right there where my pinky is. Sits right on top. Okay, so I'm holding it up, right? You guys see how I can, that's all it takes. It literally, that is all it takes sometimes. Okay, there is enough space. Look, I'm gonna hold it up. See that? Look how much space there is here. Okay, so work on getting the shim in there. What you guys can do is, you can see, this is one of my favorite leaf springs. Okay, this is a cow, very lightweight. If you're trying to do any lightweight builds, definitely pick them up. They did a great job. This was my replacement for Airsoft Surgeon. Airsoft Surgeon was my favorite, okay? But you can't buy those anymore. Let me show you an Airsoft Surgeon, okay? These are extremely rare, but look how thin they are. They're ridiculously thin. You would have to adjust them every so often. So they're only for, I'd probably say, for people who are constantly adjusting their guns, IPSC style. Okay, not for skirmishing. This is at least a little bit beefier and doesn't need to be readjusted every freaking, how many rounds. Okay, so look on the bottom. You guys see that? It is just a hard plastic, guys, from from like something like this. Okay, hard plastic. Just cut it and then glue it. Okay, super glue. Okay, I use what's it called? I can't even pronounce it. It's the one I show you guys all the time. Okay, it's in the back, usually in the refrigerator. But this shim allows it to sit up. Okay. Now, I don't have an issue, okay? And you have to make sure it's thin enough that this can go back on, okay? Which it can. And then you want to make sure, if you ever shim it and you glue it on, make sure it's not sticking out here. If it is sticking out here and you can feel it with your finger, it will cause issues. You won't be able to put your mag in, okay? So, if you're too scared to do glue, okay, if you're too scared to do this kind of stuff, not a big deal, guys. Simple. You want a simple freaking idea? Literally, cut out this piece, slide it in there, okay? Slide it in there, and then with the, without the knife or something, just cut off the excess and pinch it in there. You can literally just pinch it in there. You can use like a piece of rubber, anything. Your goal is just to get this to sit high as possible, okay? You want this high as possible and can't go down at all, okay? It's nice and set here. It's not going anywhere, okay? So that will cover that issue, okay? The trigger, guys, unfortunately, two of them had AIP, okay? AIP triggers are really tall. I love AIP triggers, okay? That's an AIP trigger right here. And to me, they're gorgeous, okay? one of my favorites. Really long, great for if you got long index fingers. Okay, really good for big hand people. I also think they're just beautiful looking, but really tall. Okay, will not work in here. You have two options. Either A, you can try to file this inside, and it's going to be hard. Okay, it will be hard. I don't think it's worth it. I think it's easier, honestly, and it's cheaper, because remember, this is $114. Sometimes it comes down to, hey, what costs more? Do I have this tool set for it? Am I too scared to do it? You know, you figure it out. That grip, that trigger is $12. You know what I mean? Okay, maybe it's more than that, but just sand the top of the trigger, sand the bottom, put it in a vise, nice and straight. One pass, two pass, take your time, go back and forth. It's going to take you time, but just do it, okay? I'm hoping 5KU will adjust this one day and just make it just 1 millimeter up, 1 millimeter down, and you can even see the little line. Okay, you could try, but just be careful. Remember, this is anodized, so once you take that off, that material off, it's done. If you go too far and you dink this, oh man, you're gonna notice that. But if you do the top of the trigger and the bottom, people aren't gonna notice it. Okay, you guys couldn't even tell in the last video. Well, okay, I didn't check the comments. But I promise you, I'm confident that people can't tell it's milled until it's in your hands and you're looking at it. Okay, here, look. This is the one I milled. It's just a wee, he has an extra wee trigger. I wanted to make sure it actually works, okay? Milled the top, milled the bottom, okay? From the side, can you tell? Not really, unless you can see right here. Maybe that's about it. But you really can't tell. So take the top and bottom off. If you're really unfortunate and you have a trigger that's like fat on the side, good. I'm sorry, buddy. You're like, yeah, you're just shit out of luck. You could try sanding the sides, but just be careful. Once you remove it, that's it. Okay. So leaf screen is probably the most common one that you guys all talk to me on Facebook. I think this is the easiest fix. The trigger is a pain in the ass, but for 114, I'm not going to really complain. The third one, that it was a hit and miss. I think a lot of you that hit me up, most of you, I'm thinking about who hit me up. Most of you were TM Max. I think that's why you guys didn't talk about it as much. Most of you are all TM Max. And I know a lot don't have, like, you know, this is like Pro Win. Okay, you can see right here, Pro Win is a little tight, right? You can feel it, so it's tight. Okay. What else? We have FPR, my new favorite one. This is my favorite mag right now. Thankfully it fits. Okay. So each of you will have a different experience about what fits in here and it doesn't. So you're gonna have to work on that. And then the other thing that I already addressed in the video, is the magazine release, guys. Magazine release is incredibly weak, or easy to push. I guess you could say vice versa. Okay, he's got an extra magazine release, so I'll let him decide which one he wants, and he'll just change it when he wants to. Okay, so I think we got the grip talked about. Let me make sure that wasn't him, because we've been talking. Okay, let's see. No, okay, that's somebody else. Okay, so let me show you guys. So we've been talking, and he came up with something interesting that he wanted, and I wanted to address it. Okay. Okay. He wants a tracer on it, and he doesn't mind this inner bail. Okay, so he told me that he plays at what's it called, the field, like twice a year. So realistically speaking, this shooting that, you know, I guess he said he mostly plays private games. So I mean, I feel bad for his friends, but cause this is gonna hurt. I want to buy another one, guys, but I want to get this out to him, and I'm a little hesitant to tap it. Okay, so maybe I'll let his friend tap it if he feels more confident. I don't have a drill press anymore, guys. I have a manual build, but I usually use drill press for tapping anything that's like metal related. I have the tap Because I found it, pulled it out. I just tapped this. I quickly just tapped this is a plastic TM outer barrel, and I was like, okay, let's see if it works. And see. Okay, and you can always tell that it's tapped by pulling it. Because some people, what they'll do is they'll just shove it in there, but it's actually it actually threads in here. So I have the right tap. I don't know if I'm confident to do it. I don't think I have the right tools, and the last thing I want to do is mess that up. So the funny thing is, I suggested to him, and what I'm going to do next is, I think, and he can buy it down the road too, I think it's, he can buy this, the hex barrel. I think the hex barrel would look nice in here. So hex barrel paired with just a thread adapter. Because they come threaded 5KU and they're right $20. So that's why I linked him. So we'll see what he does. I don't know if there's enough space here to thread anyways, because it's already kind of a big hole. So it's like, it's got to be 11 millimeters. We're not going to touch it. We're just going to get close to it. Yeah, it's already kind of, ooh, it's pushing it. Like 1050. Yeah. So, okay, that's that. So that's what we've been talking about it. What I did say though, I want to 3D print a little tab just to protect it, because he's cool with this. And this is a 601 55. Okay, these are Edge GI barrel. I love them. I think he's a legend. He's been making barrels for a long time. Funny thing, guys, is I didn't know he was okay with it. So I already started talking to Japanese company that I want to test out the inner barrels, and I found out really good news about them. It's called Da Vinci. I was going to check out Lamba. If you guys know me, I'm a huge fan of PDI. If you know your history, Tomo managed PDI. Now he worked for Lambda. That didn't work. I guess I'll tell you guys more about it in that video. But now he's at Da Vinci. Okay, so I hit him up. I said, hey, I want to test out his barrels and stuff. And if it's the same quality as the Palsinite, I told him I grew up with the PDI and the Palsinite. Those were my two most loved barrels. I love them more than anything. So he's got a 601 and a 605 in SUS 304 steel. Okay, stainless steel. So I paid for those. But I guess we won't need it for him anymore unless if he wants to wait. Because I got a 152 I got a 152 in a 601 and a 605. Because I'm gonna get one of these, and if I buy another one and I just build another one for fun, and then so I'll just, because the funny thing is we had two other guys that were trying to get it, so I thought, okay, shit, maybe we'll just build one more. But I still want to build the WX, okay, before I start building another EX, okay. But anyways, so inner barrel, we're gonna figure that out together. I don't know if there's enough room to tap it, so my idea is I gotta find a plastic outer barrel. I'm gonna tap it, and we're just gonna put it in here and see how it looks. Funny thing is, technically speaking, can run this. All right, you know what? Let's just see what it looks like. That's a 4.3. Okay. Let's see how it's doing. We have 100 shots. Okay. Okay, let's just see how it looks. Okay, I'll take back the idea. even a 5.1 is not enough. It wouldn't activate the tracer. The problem is you would need like a... Ah, shit, he's gonna have to. Yeah, that's actually an interesting problem. You know, funny thing is, you know what? Look at this. If we could buy the outer barrel by itself, that would actually work. Cause look how tight the outer barrel is. You guys see the silver? That's threadable. That is definitely 100% threadable. This part right here. So yeah, but that would be such a pain in the ass. You'd have to take this all off all the time if you wanted to run a tracer. There's got to be a solution. Okay, so I got to do some brainstorming, but I'm going to show him this video and talk about it. Cause I just don't know if there's enough room. Well, let me show you guys. Let me show you the tap. Cause I know he's not the only one that wants to trace it for it. I know that for sure. So people are going to be curious about it. Okay. You know what I tapped with? I tapped it with a Makita. Okay. I have a vise, and I stuck the plastic grip in there, and I just Makita'd it. This is the 11 millimeters. Okay. You guys see? This is what I use to tap all my 3D printed compensators, anything plastic. But look at this. It's barely. I don't think it's enough. Okay. So the silver, however, definitely enough. Okay. Yeah. That's okay. So if we obviously put a 5.1, you're gonna get a little bit more length, right? You'll get more little length. So, but even with the problem is you won't clear the sensor. I wish I had a 5.1 plastic in here, but I don't know where I have one. Okay, let's get back on track. Okay, so we got some work to do because I want to make sure he's happy, you know, and then I also want to show him what he's working with too. And I also know that a lot of you are going to want a tracer on it. So that is something for you guys to consider. Like I don't need a tracer for it because it's IPSC. For me, this is an IPSC build. I like it, but I see the power of this being an outdoor build because it's lightweight and just shooting freaking 400 FPS. I mean, shit. what else could you ask for? Okay. Okay. Let's. Is there anything else he said? No. I think that we're talking about. He wasn't so sure on the grip. And I was like, hey man, we can just trade out, not a big deal. And I asked him. I want to know exactly what weight he has because I got all the parts I need. Now I'm going to fine tune it for the weight that he needs. Okay. That he uses. Grip he's gonna work on. Okay, so we're not gonna. He'll figure out how to do the wee step. And I told him it's pretty straightforward. You know, you're gonna be sanding the front of your grip because you can see where it's heading. Like that's freaking, like what you guys saw it on shooting on camera. That's like a few mag changes. Okay. And it'll wear at it. You can either do your Wii or you can just do this. It'll wear at it. It just takes a while. I got like a steel wool and a sandpaper. And I would just stick it in here. That's how I first did it. And then eventually what I did is a 3D printed stuff, and I would hook the sandpaper into the stick, and then that just made life a lot easier. The next idea would be to put it like to a machine that goes back and forth. That would make life a lot easier. Okay. All right. So we've talked about this. Let's talk about Atlas Custom. Okay, guys. Atlas Custom. Ever since I've seen Atlas Custom, I knew they were freaking 5KU, and I'm going to prove to you right now they're 5KU. Okay. It's funny. I was at E-Bike, I think, or I can't remember where. It's either calling E-Bike or Airsoft Megastore or whatever, and I would be like, hey, do you have any 5KU? And they're like, no, what? And I would say, well, I'm sorry, Atlas Custom. And they would be looking at me different and like, hey, it's not 5KU. And I'm like, I didn't want to waste my time. But look, Atlas Custom, guys, it's just, it's just a rebrand. Okay, look at the safeties. Okay, great packaging. They did a smart idea to look at it. Okay, look at it. You guys see how it's exactly the same. Okay, exactly the same. Okay, all it's just 5KU. Funny thing, this I bought this from. You know where I bought this from, guys? I bought this from Airsoft Mega Store. It's e-bike and Airsoft Mega Store are the closest stores to me that have Atlas custom stuff. Airsoft GI is a bit of a drive, so Atlas Custom came in a 5KU bag. You know what I mean? It's 5KU, guys. Okay. Now, with that being said, they've done a great job, and I could tell this is newer. Okay, they like. Okay, man. They first of all, if you know Real Steel, Atlas. I know you guys know it out there. Atlas is a. I like him and I hate him at the same time for putting Infinity in the corner, because now we lost True Customs, thanks to Atlas. Because I know he's pushing out a lot of guns, so he came in and he just started selling high volume, like pretty decent guns, and that just scared was it John? I forget who runs Infinity. The son is the forefront for it, but it scared him, man. He stopped doing his full custom. So I'm like, shit. I have a lot of Real Steel friends. We talk about it and we can't stand it. It's annoying, but it is what it is. But anyways, it's 5KU, guys. So it's new stuff, and so what I did is I had to measure his finger, guys. So. There's two types of measurements. There's a lot of different ways, guys. First of all, I'm not an expert on it. This is stuff I learned from forums and shooting from IPSC over the years and measurements. Okay, go on the forums, look on the forums. Okay, maybe there's probably good videos on YouTube. Okay, maybe there's good videos. But anyways, you can measure from here to the top, and then you can measure. You do an L sign perpendicular from top to here. So you just measure here. Okay. I'll give you guys an example. Okay, and this is just rough measurements. Let me try to figure out. Okay. Okay, so I'm like 3.2, right? And then you can see from here a little bit longer, right? Okay, like almost 6-7 inches. Okay, that's a rough estimate, but that's what you do to at least get good numbers, and from there you could start figuring out if you need small, medium, or large. Okay, and without getting too much into it, guys, the whole point is to at 90 degrees is to make it comfortable, and then use the least amount of muscles and stressing your hand out and everything. That's why grip size also is very important. Okay, any huge Real Steel company like Infinity, I love them, they're my favorite. They're gonna send you like freaking 6 different grips, and they're gonna have you measure your hands out, and they're gonna do all these types of measurement, and they're gonna hey, this one fits the best. Okay, hey, this feels good and everything. This is like top level shit. Okay, when you're trying to min max every little stat. Okay, none of you now, guys, you don't have to do this. We're just talking about it. This is just an extra thing I like to do when I do like trigger packages. Okay, the stuff I care about. Now, this pistol I already know from the measurements is a good. This is a good size. Okay. And you can see, so what I do is we went and picked up Atlas Custom, and guys, I can tell you right now, just looking at it, you know how much these used to be? These used to be $20 a piece. 20. So you would pay $20 for the front, and then you would pay $20 for the back. Okay. Because you need a back. These are puzzle triggers. They're Enos puzzle triggers. They're pretty famous. They've been around for a very long time. I love them. They're a classic. They're beautiful, and I just can't say enough good things. But one of my favorite things. But what's great about them is you can determine the length you need. Okay, so you can see from here, we have a small. Okay, and then we have. It's hard to see. There's small, and then you can see medium, and then large. Okay, the whole point is to, say, because you guys see how big my hands is. So you obviously know I need a large. Okay, you want to keep it close as you can to like a 90. You don't want to be too here. You don't want to be too there. Okay, like it's just uncomfortable. You want it to be as comfortable as you can right here at a natural position. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, that's the whole point. That's why you measure your fingers and everything, and they can choose from there. Now he's borderline right here. Okay, he can choose between these two, and I'm going to talk to him about it. I'm going to send him pictures, and I'm going to ask him, hey, what do you want? Okay, because the reality is I have just 2 measurements. So I don't really know the rest of it. It's sand. Okay, so that's something we'll figure out, and from there we move forward. And the cool thing about puzzle triggers, guys, we could mix up the colors if we want. But I think we're going to go black. Okay, I think black is going to look beautiful in there with this nice, just gorgeous puzzle trigger. Okay, I think that's the update for now. Next is I need to just hear from him what he wants. If he wants the small or medium. And then we're going to do the trigger tuning. Okay, we got this. We're going to get rid of pre-travel, we're going to get rid of over-travel, we're going to get a nice hair trigger, and, well, actually, I need to ask him first if he wants that, because not everybody wants that. Okay, so first I got to make sure he's cool with it. Okay. I'll have him watch this video. Okay, and then we got this, and then we're going to go with black for sure. Well, actually, you know what? I'll let him talk to me. What I did is, okay, guys, these were $7.49 each. Okay, so let me double check. Okay, let me double check. Let's see. Let's see our order. View your order. No, I have to. Welcome to APO Gmail. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this I want to see if he wants. I think that would have been sexy on here. I don't know if he's gonna want, but I just picked it up. If he doesn't pick it up, I'm taking it anyways. Okay, it's a thumb rest. This was $12. I bought that. You can see, I know people are gonna be excited for that. I bought this for the red gun, $7.49 each. Okay, it's freaking $15 for a trigger. A puzzle trigger that was $40, and these are beautifully done. They look good. The only thing we gotta do is we gotta make sure is that if they go in nicely. Okay, that's the only thing we gotta really check. And then hopefully the screw is the right length. Okay, if it's too short, then that's the pain in the ass. But we'll find out. Cause I had this, I had the same issue with the I forget who made the original puzzle trigger. Is it Airsoft Masterpiece or GSP? I don't know. The original one, the grip screw was actually, the trigger screw was actually too short. So that was a pain in the ass. And then some were loose, some weren't. So even those weren't perfect. But there you guys go. And then, obviously tax. Freaking tax is $31 here, but total $339. Okay. Because I bought a lot of the triggers. So you should see 3. Basically, yeah. 3 triggers because we bought 3 of the bases, $22.47. Okay, insane. Okay, that's it for now, guys. I hope that helped. And for those talking about tracers, yes, I don't think there's enough room here. You could do a Jenks job, honestly speaking. You could try to. I don't know if there's you could try to go a size up. There might be a tracer that would be a little bit longer, and then you could. No, yeah, it's just not enough. I'm looking at this and it doesn't look like enough. Or I don't want to attempt it. Okay, I'll have a. I'll make sure I'll tell him, hey Joe, if your friend attempts, please let us know how it went. The silver one, however, yes, you can do it. I just wish they would sell this barrel alone. I don't think they would. absolutely do not think. Hey, look, if anyone's like best friends with 5KU, please can you hook me up? Hook me up. Just tell them like, hey, Nestle's really cool or something, and give me a direct line to them or something so I can. Shit, I'd like to buy from them. I don't want to buy like, obviously I'm not a store level, but it'd be nice so I don't have to buy from like 20 different stores. You should see all the 5KU stuff I've been buying. It's like freaking 6mm, WGC, Airsoft GI, Airsoft Megastore, E-Bike. Who else? It's like freaking. We're all over the place because we don't have certain colors for certain things, and everyone's all the customers want different parts, and it's like, oh shit. All right, thank you guys. See you around. I'm gonna go talk to him. Okay, take it easy, guys.